Welcome, everyone. Congratulations to all of our winners so far this summer. And we still have more winners that are going to be announced. On Saturday, we'll have the winner of this week's book that's given away by our tonight's featured author, Carole Lehr Johnson, who I'm so excited to introduce to everyone. So that will be on Saturday. It'll be the most points. Whoever has the most points this week will win an autographed copy of her latest book, Woven in the Mist. And then on Sunday, I cannot believe, y'all, this summer has gone faster than I think any of them have, to me anyway. So Sunday will be the wind down and winner's toast. And so we will be meeting a couple of new authors who you guys haven't seen. Well, you have seen Rachel, but a couple of other authors that you haven't seen so much of yet this summer. They'll be with us on Sunday, and we're going to talk to them, ask them a few questions, and have our winners for the whole shebang. So we got 2 grand prize winners to announce, most points and most books read for the whole summer. And then we'll also have 2 Share the Read swag packs. I keep forgetting that I changed the name of them, so y'all just bear with me. Anyway, we'll have them. So, all right. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead and say a huge welcome to Carole Lehr Johnson. Thank you so much for being with us this week, and welcome.
Thank you. It's been so sweet to be included. I really appreciate that. Everybody's been so nice.
I know we have such a great group of readers and authors, and it's just a joy. Like, I feel like every event is just so much fun and just so nice to be involved with. So thank you for joining that and for sharing what you're reading. And I love how active you've been with that part as well. That's been awesome.
Well, thank you. I'm an introvert, as I've said, so it's kind of hard for me to do things like this.
Well, you would never know it. I'm telling you, you've been amazing.
Appreciate that.
I think sometimes introverts have the best things to say too.
I don't know about that, but
all right, so just go ahead and give us a little introduction to you and to your books and tell us a little bit about the book you're going to be giving away. And you can share something, a favorite thing, whether it's a scene, line, or character, or something that's your favorite from that book.
Oh, okay. Well, it was, I don't know. I've always, since it came to be, loved the dual timeline thing. I've just been fascinated by it. I love reading it. A lot of people don't like my mom, she's not crazy about it because she says I forget who did what in the past or the present or whatever. I don't know. But, and I really enjoy it. And I just really wanted to read that. It's challenging to write a dual time, very challenging. And I'm learning as I go. So this is my second or third. I can't remember now. That's terrible to say, but it's my 6th release. And I've been to Scotland several times and love the Highlands. And that was kind of played into it in the history of that era. I just liked it. So I did something a little weird. It's kind of a 1603 and then a 1710 timeline. So it was a little different in that respect, not a present day time at all. But I mean, I love historical more than anything. But I also write a little contemporary short stories. I've published in some various places and some devotionals and just small things like that too. As far as Woven in the Mist, I think I have to say my favorite scene was when my main protagonist in 1710 meets her love, so to speak, in the garden. And the mist plays a part in that too, because it's really misty like it is in Scotland all the time, mostly. That was my favorite scene, I think, writing. I like to hear some other people say what their favorite scenes were. I'd be curious to know what that is. I love to hear what the readers think.
That's a good question. Has anyone here read Woven in the Mist yet? Faith has. Do you have a particular scene that you were thinking would be a favorite? Oh, you're muted.
Oh no.
I think I would say when they're hiding in the forest, and when they're creeping along and they have to hide. I don't know. I really love the descriptions and the, when they're hiding from the other clan.
Now, see, you've got me intrigued. I already want to read this book. So I love all things Scottish. I have Scottish ancestry. I'm obsessed. So this book has been on my list.
We need to have a talk someday then, because I have Scottish ancestry too.
Okay, but here's my least favorite scene. When they sneak off for the day, right, and disobey, right? Because I'm such a rule follower, and in every book, when like the heroine is like, nobody will care if I do this, I won't get caught, and I'm just like, don't do that.
But they didn't get caught.
I know, but
I love it.
it's still like,
that's what made you nervous.
Whenever they make decisions like that, and it's not just you. Whenever I'm reading, I'm like, you're being an idiot.
They all were.
I do that a lot when there's the misunderstanding, and you're like, just talk to each other.
Yes.
Exactly. I talk to characters all the time.
Well, so I'm glad that you brought up and talked about the dual timeline thing, because that is my first big question for you. So your specialty is dual timeline or split time fiction and time travel. Can you kind of define each of those first? Make sure we all know what those are. And then tell us, do you prefer writing one over the other? And what drew you to these styles?
The dual time thing, that's just kind of a hard thing to really, I guess the best way to explain it is just two different timelines that have something in common, some theme or something, some character or something ties them together, and it's kind of a back and forth, excuse me, and sometimes things mirror whatever happens to the person in the past, the more recent timeline. Something similar is also happening to that character in that era also. Most of the time, that's kind of the way it works. Go back to Susanna Kearsley in The Winter Sea. That's the first dual time I ever read. Yeah. And I, at Scotland again, fell in love with it. And you've got to read that book. All of you need to read that book, but I think Joy especially would.
I've read it and I love it.
Oh, you have read
fell
it.
In love.
Isn't it amazing? Mm-hmm. And then you've got a couple of others. They're not really sequels, but some of the characters in there, these other books are about them, which is another great idea I never thought of. Pull characters out of your first story, do something totally different with them that isn't directly tied to the first, not a sequel kind of thing. Love that. Time travel is a whole nother story. Completely, no pun intended. I have, since I was a little kid and started reading, I've loved time travel stories. I don't know if any of you are sci-fi fans. I see some waving there. I mean, I grew up in the era, which you probably never even heard of some of these authors, although they were like the authors of the time, was like Douglas Adams, who was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I mean, I read that before it ever became a movie or anything else. Robert Heinlein, Isaac Asimov. I've got a whole list I wrote down here. Frank Herbert, Dune. That was a book series back when I was a teenager. Love those kind of books. Kind of got away from that a little bit over the years. But I always enjoyed it. And time travel is just, it's kind of like, you can go back and redo it. You made a mistake kind of thing. And you think, well, if I can escape to another time. I don't know. Does that sound kind of silly?
No, not at all.
It's just, I just love that whole idea of that.
Hey, have you read Stephen King's time travel book about the guy who goes back and he's trying to stop the Kennedy assassination?
I've not. I've heard of that, but is it a good read?
It's really good reading. I don't usually like Stephen King.
I don't either. I don't like the creepy stuff.
But this one is totally different. I mean, it has some unhappy things in it, but the suspense in it is not creepiness. It's, is he going to succeed?
I see.
But it's so interesting because he goes back and he gets stopped, and then he comes home, and then he goes back and he's learned something. So he's like, this is the thing that prevented me. So I'm going to go back and avoid that. So he keeps going back and trying to,
Wow.
to fix it. It was just, and it's insanely long. But, yeah. Okay. And then have you read, Doomsday? I think it's Connie Willis. And,
Not read.
so they're historians, I don't remember, like at Oxford or something, and they're traveling back in time to study the time. So like,
that sounds familiar. I think I may have read that.
so
Did they go back during the plague era?
Yes.
I think I've read that. That was interesting.
It was really good. And what was interesting was that there's a plague going on in England at the same time the girl has been sent, and somehow they got the coordinates wrong and they sent her back during the Black Death.
Yes.
And yes, that one was so good.
Yes, a little vivid, shall we say, on certain things. I have a queasy stomach, but it was a good book though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
So, did you? I can't remember if you said what kind of drew you to these. I know you talked a little bit about with time travel, what you love about that, but would it be reading Winter Sea? Was that really kind of
that was the one that drew me into the dual time or split time, whatever you want to call it now? It's all got all these names. That's the one that drew me into that first.
That's awesome.
More than anything. Such an amazing book. And if you ever get a chance, you need to go to Slane's Castle where it took place.
That would be incredible.
It is. It is incredible. I've visited it 4 times.
Oh,
Pardon me?
You've been there.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, it is just amazing. I've got some pictures posted on Facebook, but if you want to see any more, I've got tons of them. It just really puts you in the story.
That's so cool. So, in Woven in the Mist, both main characters struggle with a sense of belonging. Okay, so one of them is an orphan, and the other carries a child whose father has died in battle. So they both kind of are. It's like they're unmoored. They don't have just a little pun on the area. Anyway, so why do you think that this became a central theme in your book, and does belonging come up as a theme in some of your other books as well?
It really kind of does. At some point, there's somewhat of a thread there, and I don't know. I'm just of a mind that, in some tiny way, don't we all kind of feel like that at times? Maybe in certain situations. I've always maybe that's the introvert in me coming out. It may be whether it's like you're overwhelmed by a crowd. Like I don't like really being in crowds. I feel a little overwhelmed with that. I make it work, but it's not easy for me. Or serving on a committee, sometimes I feel like I'm less competent than everybody in the room. I always feel that way. But I don't know, can any of you relate to that a little bit? I mean, maybe you don't. Maybe it's just me, but I just always feel that way.
No, I definitely
it may be tiny. It may be just a tiny thing sometimes. Sometimes it may be huge. So anyway, that's what I pour into my characters.
Yeah, and I feel like, so I read, which one did I read? It's behind me. Oh, goodness. Oh, The Burning Sands. That's the one of yours that I've read. And I felt like there was a little bit of that as well in that book, just the sense of belonging. And it was, you also had a little bit of that found family situation too, which I love and I'm drawn to. So, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so that was an especially challenging book to write.
Yeah,
I don't know, more so than the other, but it kind of was for me. But I enjoyed it. But I love researching when it's historical. I love it as much as I do the writing.
Yeah.
A lot of people say I hate the research part, and I I get caught up in it too much and waste too much time sometimes.
Guilty as well.
All right. You know
I've
what I
learned
mean?
the power of the copy paste and saving links in a document, because it's like, oh, I will just go off on a trail.
I have too, and I like to have a notebook too with my stuff printed out so that I could go back to it if I do a novel that needs some of that.
Yeah.
But I'm a paper person, which is not good.
No,
if the research justified trips to Scotland, I'd be all over that too.
Well, there you go. Do it. And I see it close up of your teapot, and I love it. Oh, that is so pretty.
Yeah, she picked a nice one for me.
That's a lovely one.
Yeah.
So, and that came from your mother-in-law? Is that
correct? No, this came from my son's girlfriend.
Did I lose everybody?
She went on that recent trip to England, Europe. She said England was her favorite part of the trip. I show you the top.
Oh, that is so cute. I love that. That is a beautiful, she made a good choice.
She
Definitely.
did.
And made it back in one piece.
Yes, she had it well wrapped.
That's so great.
Perfect.
So I know earlier you talked about Susanna Kearsley, and so I'm assuming that she's probably going to be one of your biggest author influences, but I'm wondering if there are any other big authors who have influenced your writing. And then as a second question to that, because I love authors and the author community, and I've found that by and large, it is one of the most beautiful, giving, caring communities. So what would be a piece of advice that you would give to an aspiring author? So kind of bookends, like who's inspired you and maybe in what ways? And then what would you say to an aspiring author?
Oh, wow. Well, as far as other authors, like Susanna Kearsley, Kate Morton is another really good. She's from Australia. Have you read some of hers?
I haven't. I'm actually writing her name down right now.
Kate Morton. She's really good. She writes in a kind of a similar way to Kearsley, but not fully. Hers can be rather dark sometimes. She's such an amazing writer. I don't care. I'm gonna read it anyway. Yeah, she's really, really good. And one author, when I was in my 20s, before I started writing, I read almost every book I could get my hands on her. She's a very old author. She wrote until she was 92. She's a British author named Catherine Cookson. And all of her stories usually took place in late 1800s, early 1900s, and then on up through World War II. She was such a good writer, and she's very famous in the UK. And I really like, in fact, I own quite a few of her books, and I just admired her a lot too. As far as the more current authors, I love reading Regency. And Laura France, although Laura writes some other things too, and you talk about supportive, like you were saying about the author community, Laura France is Frantz, is one of those people. And Sandra Bird, Byrd, both of them write a variety of things, but mostly historical fiction. They're great. And I just finished co-authoring a book with Carrie Taransky, who writes more Edwardian England stories. Julie Klassen with a K, Erica Vetsch, Vetsch, Michelle Greep, Griep. She's another one. There are several. I love the Regency era period, and my story in this new anthology I wrote with Carrie and Marguerite Gray. Marguerite Martin Gray is her full author name. And anyway, they're just so supportive, and their writings are so good. So that's something too about aspiring writers too. I started late in life. I mean, I was in my 50s before I started writing. Full-time job, I had a child, blah, 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 and all this stuff. But I had so much good support starting that career so late. And I would just say read the authors you like the best and the stories you like the best, whether it's historical, contemporary, whatever it is, just devour it. I'm not saying copy anybody, because you don't want to copy. You can't copy their voice. You have your own voice. Read everything you get your hands on what you like to write. I think that was really important for me. That helped me a lot. And I don't read much that isn't something that I write. Like, I don't read sci-fi anymore because I don't write sci-fi, even though it is good, but, and just so many things. I mean, I have learned so much, and I still have so much more to learn. It's never ending.
I don't know if you've read these books, Lisa Tawn Bergren's books, The River of Time and Ocean of Time series.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I've read that series. Isn't it good?
Yeah, I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet because I couldn't afford it. But yes, I really enjoyed, the dual time travel aspects, and just the way she brought both parts of history into the story. The current timeline and the past.
Yeah, I think her books are really good. I don't know how many's in that series now. I've lost track.
One series has 5 books, the other has 3.
Yeah, I think I may have just read the 3. I can't remember now. I had to finally put them down because I needed to be writing instead of reading all the time.
That's a challenge in itself.
It is, right? It is.
Well, I have one more question that's geared toward this particular book, and then I want to open it up for Faith and Terry to ask some questions. Now, do either of your main characters in Woven in the Mist, and I'm going to let you say their names because I want to hear how they're pronounced.
Uh-oh.
Do either of them showcase any of your qualities or characteristics?
I think probably, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I think most authors probably have something of themselves in every character they write. Wouldn't you say, Joy? As a writer, don't you think so?
Something in there.
Yeah, I try to put things in there that I would never do.
Yeah.
But that's hard for me to write about something that I don't know about. Like, I would never go swimming in the ocean at night. I mean, but a character, you might need to have them do that sometimes. I'm just saying. But yeah, I think little bits of each character has some quality that I have.
So, and is it, I'm going to say it wrong, Muri?
Mm-hmm.
And Sorsha?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, you got it.
So when I read it, I'll have them right.
Right. I did a lot of research on Scottish names. Oh my gosh.
I'm sure. And that's so much fun in itself, like researching names and pronunciations and different languages and yes.
Oh yeah. Endless.
It is. So, okay, I'm going to open it up for Faith and Terry to ask questions.
So I'm just curious, how do you schedule time to write? Like, do you have same time every day? Do you have big binge sessions?
For me, my best writing time, I have a friend who's an author, and she can only write in the mornings. Or no, wait. Well, I put it this way. One of them does, and another friend of mine who's an author, she can only write like after midnight. I can't do that. My best writing time is after lunch and into the evening. And there's some thing you can search online that it tells you how do you determine what is your best time. Yeah, I can't remember. Some kind of little quiz, which I thought was interesting. It is hard for me, and I hope he's downstairs with his headphones on listening to TV and can't hear me. He retired last year. Just saying. He retired. And sometimes it's very disrupting to have a man around when you're trying to write. It's screaming up the stairs, what's for lunch? Or whatever. Just little things. And it's nice to have him home all the time, but sometimes it's like, okay, I need to be writing. So I grab it when I can, Faith. I grab it when I can.
I'm gonna have to find that quiz. I'm curious now.
Do that. I'll have to ask Morgan if she can remember. She's the one that found it. Ask her where she saw that, because that was interesting.
Yeah. Well, I know from all of the reactions that we all understand how complicating men can be in our lives.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
As much as we love them, they can be a little on the challenging side.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
We won't go there. We don't have all night.
So I was fascinated to learn about the late start in your writing career, because I think as a kid I was always fascinated by the people who started writing as a kid, like I was, and even got published. I thought that was amazing, and so I kind of always thought that most people who are passionate about writing started even if they never showed anyone else, in their journals and notebooks growing up. What precipitated the change for you?
Well, I guess when I was a child, I did kind of like to dabble in storytelling and stuff like that, but I really it never took hold, I guess, until I wanted to, I guess, in my 20s and 30s and whatever. But you get married, you have I only have one child, you have a child, and you're working full time, and it's just not feasible. But I remember it. One thing that's funny you would mention that, Terry. There's one thing I do remember from high school in English class. Whenever we got to literature, nobody liked it. Nobody wanted it. And when they said Shakespeare, the whole room just groaned. I was the only one that said, great, because I love Shakespeare and I love literature, but nobody else did. So I guess it kind of goes back to that. But then when I finally was working part-time when I was in my 50s, I went to part-time instead of full-time, and I started writing. So I got a late start. Yeah, I was in my 50s when I really got started.
Okay. And then I also had a question, because I think the last author chat was talking about pantsters versus plotters.
Yeah.
And for me, thinking about writing a dual timeline book, I'd have to have a roadmap. So I'm wondering, is that the case for you? Are you a plotter?
No, I am not a plotter. I'm kind of middle of the road, more a pantser than anything. But I did find out that if you're doing a dual time, write one complete timeline first, the whole thing, like it's a book. Then come back, and after you've read that first, let's say, contemporary chapter, then you plug in your past chapter in that spot.
Okay.
You kind of have a mirror effect. And that helped me a lot, because the first dual time I wrote, I didn't do that. Drove me crazy. But
yeah, that's what I picture, is going crazy trying to keep everything straight.
Yeah, it would. So it's better to just write one whole timeline, then come back and plug in the other one.
That's good to hear. That's something that I did. I have the last novel that I put out was 2 points of view. So it wasn't dual timeline, but it was 2 separate points of view of the characters. And I struggled so much until I did what you just said. And I wrote all of Jack and I wrote all of Rachel, and then I brought them together.
Okay, that drove me nuts. Yeah, that's interesting. I would have not thought about that from just 2 POVs, doing it that way, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely saved me some heartache.
I'm sure.
So you guys may have more questions. I want to ask Carole one thing, and then I have a question for everybody, and then we can see what time we have left. So where would you, or hold on, sorry, I'm looking at my notes and my eyes just jumped all over the place. All right, so in addition to your books, which we all want all of them, how can readers engage with you? What is your favorite way that you have readers engage with you?
I guess via Facebook, maybe on my author page. I think that's it. And I would love it if y'all would go follow me on my author page. just follow me. That'd be great. I need some more numbers. But
Is
yeah,
that, you talking about the Amazon author page or the Facebook author page?
no, Facebook author page.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have a personal and an author page too. Yeah, I think that's the easiest way. And I try to check it often. If I get tied up, I may be a little bit behind a few hours, but I try to keep on, check in. But
Okay.
yeah.
So
And if you have
everybody's
something
following her.
special, I'm sorry, if you have something special, feel free to email me if you need to.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll include a link to your Facebook. And so my question is, because, we're all about the tea. So, and I'm talking about the drink, not gossiping.
That's right.
So I'm curious to know if you have tea with you, or if not, what is everyone's favorite type of tea?
Well, mine is Earl Grey. That's my number one, but I'll drink just about any kind of tea, herbal, whatever.
And sugar, cream, or no?
Stevia for me, and lemon.
Okay.
What about everybody else? Are you all tea drinkers?
Constantly. I prefer iced tea because Louisiana.
Yeah, this time of the year, but in the morning it's going to be hot tea for me if it's 100 degrees in the shade.
And I drink a lot of varieties. There was a lavender Earl Grey I tried that was really good.
That is amazing.
And there is a wonderful tea shop in Covington for you ladies who live in Louisiana that has like 100 different varieties of tea. There's even one called Northanger Abbey. There's Downing Street. There, just all kinds of different blends. There's a Doctor Who blend, all kinds of things to try. And I went there with my sister-in-law, and you pay for one pot, but you can refill it with as many different flavors as you want while you're there. So we tried about 4 different ones, and it was a little pot, not this size.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was.
What about you, Faith?
So my favorite is chamomile.
Mm.
And I put just a tiny bit of honey. That's how I like it. But I teach online, and when you teach online, you do a lot more talking than when you teach in a classroom. And so my classes are like 90 minutes long. And sometimes I'll have 90 minutes, a 30-minute break, and another 90 minutes. And so there's a tea called Throat Coat, and it has like licorice in it, and I love it. And so and in fact it would never stay warm for 90 minutes. And so my son bought me a mug warmer. So I have my mug warmer next to my computer, and I make my tea and put it there, and so I can sip it the whole 90 minutes.
Perfect. Have you tried the lavender chamomile?
Yes. I love that one too.
I do too. That's really
I kind of found it accidentally.
Yeah.
So,
I like that's Bigelow, I think, isn't it? I think the one I had was Bigelow.
The one I have isn't Bigelow, but I found mine in like a tin at TJ Maxx.
Wow.
They have that one little shelf of foods, and I always just scan it because they have like interesting things.
They do. You're right.
Yeah.
Never know what you're going to find.
Yeah.
Fresh Market has a really neat selection of teas too. I got one there called Indigo, and the tea is blue. Obviously, because it's indigo, but a lot of different things you can try, and neat tins and all sorts of things to go along with it. David and Nancy have gotten into the teas too, so we have a variety at the house at all times.
Yep.
Well, I think that, Carole, you need to come down to the North Shore, and we need to all go to the tea room in Covington.
Sounds good to me.
And share a pot of tea.
There we go. Sounds good to me.
And that'd be a great place to talk about men too.
That's right, where there are none hanging around.
True. Oh, well, thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, I forgot to tell you, so I have Darjeeling tonight. That's one of my favorites.
I like that. I like Darjeeling. Yes, you're right.
In my
Good
little
choice.
My little caffeinated mug.
Oh, that's cute.
But thank you guys so much for being here. Carole, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us this
you.
summer. This has been a real treat for me.
It's been very nice. Thank you all. You too, Joy. I mean, it's been so sweet. Y'all are nice.
So, Joy,
Mhm.
when do you want the final tally sheets of books turned in?
So it's in the post.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a time on there. I'm going to say noon on Sunday, but I think I may have actually made it a little later in the day. I can't remember. Whatever's on that post is what we'll go with. But just to be safe, I'm going to say noon Central on Sunday. That way I have time to make sure everything's tallied and I've got all my ducks in a row and I go back and triple check everybody's points and all the things. So, and it'll be Sunday night at 7 will be our final event. So I hope you guys can join us. We'll have Rachel Ritchie and Jan Franklin, another Louisiana author, will be with us that night. So
yeah, Jan is in my ACFW writers group.
And she's such a sweetheart. I love her.
She is a character, let me tell you. She's funny. Sweet lady. Very sweet.
She should come to tea with us too.
She should.
She would enjoy it. She would enjoy
exactly.
it. She would. She really would.
I know. One of these days, there's going to be like an in-person LAM summer reading thing. It's going to happen.
Oh, that would be fun. I'll drag Morgan too and Marguerite.
Yes, that would be so wonderful. Oh my goodness, they're great.
And I'm sure Marguerite would enjoy doing one of your summer reading programs.
Yes, I actually contacted her and she couldn't work it in this summer.
Yeah, she's got a lot going on this summer. Yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully maybe next year. Fingers
You
crossed.
might get her next year. Yeah. Well, thank you all. You've all been so kind. I appreciate it. It was nice to meet everybody.
Thank you guys. See y'all Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, see you
Bye.
Sunday. Okay. Bye-bye.